Okay, Assalamu alaikum and greetings to my dear associate professor Dr. and all my beautiful master and PhD friends. Actually, today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, which is how to survive your master and PhD journey. How, not to struggle during these 3 or 4 years. It's Hasna. I'm a senior lecturer, School of Education, and I was actually a PhD student from February 2016 till 2019. And then I worked as a postdoc for 7 months, and then I'm now a senior lecturer. I'm going to share my story with you so that uh, I hope it could actually motivate you. And in this session, I'm going to be covering four, four parts. First, I'm going to share some general tips based on my experience that I see is very important for each graduate students, whether master or PhD. I'm going to be sharing 5 very important tips. And then I'm going to be sharing some advices for first year, second year, and third year as well. Okay. Now, I have I have actually completed my PhD. The video is blurry. Uh, I don't know actually. What about my voice? Is it clear? Is my voice clear?
Yeah, clear.
Very clear, Zasan, very clear.
Oh, all right. So, as I mentioned, I have completed my PhD in 2 years, 10 months, which was relatively fast. And the reason that I had so much focus and attention that I was actually able to do it because I was under a scholarship, Malaysian International Scholarship, MIS. And this scholarship is actually for 6 semesters only. And if you go over these 6 semesters, you are on your own. And this actually what motivates me. And this is actually my own, massive motivation to get me done within these 3 years. So what you need to do it is you actually need to look at your own life and find the reason that actually motivate you. I have actually defended my proposal in my first semester, all right? And this is actually some kind of hard, but it's doable, totally doable. You can do it if you have the desire to do it, if you have the commitment to do it. And I'm going to share with you how I have done that. And always remember why you have actually started your PhD. You have started your PhD because uh, you have your own reason, but at the same time, you are not going to spend like 7 or 10 years. I know personally some of the students, they have spent over 7 6 years for a PhD. It's going to be it's actually a very long journey, and I would advise everybody to work to have that plan, to have that goal in your mind that I'm going to graduate on time. All right. So how have I done it? There are actually many tips I would advise with you, but I have summed them up to very important 5 tips I'm going to share with you. First, you need to change your routine, build a new habit. As soon as you sign up for the PhD program, you have to remember that your old routine, whether you are like coming directly after a bachelor degree, or if you're doing PhD, it's like the same time. It's actually totally different from doing bachelor degree, because if you remember when we used to do our bachelor degree, it's all structured, all courses We need to study hard and then we go to the exam. Now, PhD and master by research is totally different. It's actually a one piece of research that is all about you and your own work. You have to do it by yourself. All right. So building a habit is very important. And what I mean by building a habit is actually I used to go to the library when I was a student back then every day. And what I would do, the very first thing in the morning, I would open my laptop, start with Facebook, emails, reading news, and this is actually very wrong thing to do. It's a rubbish beginning of the day. And after some of the time during the my PhD, I have come up to the conclusion that I need to spend, some quality time. So what I've done is that I have, you know, make the decision to first of all, start my work 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning for at least 2 to 3 hours quality time. There's actually nothing about outside. There's no Facebook, no emails. Everything can wait. All right. Everything can wait. Don't open emails. Don't open Facebook. You can actually put your phone on silent. Do not socialize. These 2 or 3 hours in the morning, it's all about your thesis. All right. Now, if you do this 2 hours in the morning, and I would go for lunch or coffee and then come back 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon. If you do this every day for these, 2.5 or 3 years, I guarantee you, PhD is going to be a piece of cake. 2 to 3 hours. That's it. I'm not going to ask you for 8 hours or 10 hours. Do not work super hard and hustle. No, you need to work smart. But always remember what I mean by 2 to 3 hours in the morning or 2 hours at the afternoon. I need a quality time. Do not socialize. No Facebook, nothing from outside your PhD. All right. And I actually know it's challenging. It took me some time to adapt, but you need to be committed because PhD is not easy. PhD is very unique and it's actually for not everybody in the society or the community. And you made the decision to be a PhD candidate or PhD holder. So it's your job actually to be committed and be responsible, and it's doable. Always remember that it's doable. You are going to be frustrated sometime, but it's not going to, uh, you know, it's going to last. It's not going to last forever. Yes, feel free to ask. Yes, if you have any questions, please post it on the chat box. So first tip I would share is build a new habit. 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours afternoon, quality time, nothing from the outside. Second, which is very, very important, and not only PhD or master, it's very important in the academic career as well, in your future career, which is writing. Now, writing is everything about academic. PhD or master, you need to start writing earlier than you think. Do not fall in the trap that, okay, when I'm done with my collecting the data, when I'm done with my experiment, I'm going to start. No, this is wrong. You need to start writing, and then later on, you can just update. All right. So when I'm talking about writing as early as you can, it's not only about your thesis. Any piece of academic writing is going to be very helpful. And why is that? Because academic writing, guys, is actually a skill. They are running, you know, workshop and training how to how to actually write or how to have these skills in academic writing. And to do so, you need to start somewhere, whether it's like write your own publications, meta-analysis, systematic literature review. These sort of skills will just shape your future career, not only your PhD. So you need to start writing as soon as you can. I would advise anyone from whether it's PhD or master, after your defense, start writing at least chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, and then later on you can just update. So number two is writing. Do it every day, uh, like for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Write one page. If you have a figure, just write, explain about this figure. If you have a framework, you can write about this framework. This kind of skills will get into you day by day. I can guarantee you, when I started my PhD, I had like maybe 20, if it's not less, percent about research and how to do research and so on. But day by day, reading, writing, you know, practice makes perfect, and this will keep you on. Start writing earlier than you think. Okay. And number three, I would say, is student supervisor relationship. Now, student supervisor relationship is more important than you think. It's very important. It's crucial factor in your PhD and master's study, because the way you finish your PhD faster is by getting your supervisor on board. When you meet them for the first time or the first impression, let them know that you actually care. Let them know that you here to finish. You are not just playing around or spending some time because of the allowance and so on. No, you want to graduate. You need a clear plan. You have your own purpose. You have your own goal. So student supervisors relationship is very important. You need to keep this kind of relationship nice and steady, because some of the supervisors are very helpful. They are a big support. I was actually fortunate enough to be supervised by Dr. Noor Fandi. He is the most gentleman, and he's a big support. He actually was a big support, and still till now I refer to him in regarding research issues sometimes. So yeah, relationship with your supervisor is very important. Do not argue with them so much. They are actually willing to help. Just follow their steps, follow their comments, and try to make it a friendly environment. So that is number three. Now, making a routine, writing, relationship with your supervisor, and then always remember, as I mentioned, 2 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, every day. But you need to remember that you need a day off. You need to relax, recharge your mind, recharge your brain levels. So take one day off where you actually don't talk about PhD at all. Just take a day off, do whatever you would like to, walk, run, exercise, go for nature, a trip, whatever, but do not talk about your PhD. And even though in these 6 days you are working every day, but other than these 5 or 6 hours quality time, when you go home, forget about your PhD. But always remember, these needs to be a quality time. It needs to be a consistent work. You need to be committed, because when you spend these like 4 or 5 hours a day, when you come the next morning, you will be on track. But if you skip some days, I know students skip months and weeks, are going to be lost. All the ideas, all the flowing of the writing and these kind of ideas are going to be lost. So do this like a part-time job, and I guarantee you PhD is going to be uh, easier than you think. All right, so that's number 4 tip. And then final tip, which is number 5, is always socialize among your colleagues in your school, in your faculty. There's many colloquiums, many structure courses, many training shops. You need to actually take a part of that. Uh, Always be the one that, take your hand up, present, be part of the activities. It's not going to help you in the viva or the proposal defense only, but it's going to shape your future. It's very important to take a part in the activity among the faculty or school. So share with your own colleagues in your faculty or school, and sharing could actually clarify some of the problems that you may face. It's going to give you new ideas. All right, try to learn new things. If you have some of the students that already defended their proposal, you can always ask them what kind of questions they do ask, and it's going to be actually a big deal in your PhD or master, journey. So these are the 5 main tips I would actually advise everybody to follow: is building a new habit, writing earlier than you think, your supervisor relationship needs to be very friendly, and steady, and then take a day off, and finally socialize with your colleagues and among your school. And the second section of this session, which is what to do during first year of PhD or master by research. And now, for the first year of PhD, it's like nothing else. It's a totally new experience for us, and I've never actually really experienced the shift of gear that I really felt during the first year of PhD. And you go from like undergraduate or master to actually full research. There's no courses, no grades, nothing else. You have 3 years to come out with this, piece of thesis that you need to write it by your own. Even you are not allowed to copy other people's work, only 20 or less percent. So it's like nothing else. So the first thing you need to do is always explore and organize the information. What I actually used to do is I used to explore about a thesis, dissertation, publications that is related to my work. You can go to the UTM library, you can go to ProQuest, you can go to Web of Science, Scopus, all these databases, and start searching and looking for materials, publications that is very helpful or very related to your topic. Now, what you need to do is you need to organize your work. And this is one of the very helpful tips that helped me out. First, let's say your thesis is about online learning. Okay, online learning as dependent variable, and you have, let's say, 3 independent variables: academic achievement, ease of use, and then satisfaction. So you have four now. What you need to do is you need to create four. First, you need to create one folder, call it like a PhD thesis. Inside this folder, create four folders for each variable of these. And then, for example, folder number one, academic achievement. Put inside everything that is related to academic achievement. Not only that, but when you go explore these articles, theses, and so on, summarize each one of them in a text file. Just put the title, abstract, and citation. If you do that, it's going to be very, very helpful for you, because when you collect a lot of resources, uh, theses, publications, papers, and so on, you are going to get lost. If you organize the work from the beginning, it's going to be very easy. Just one click, and you are going to access all the data. One more thing I used to do is when I read a paper or I read a thesis, I would open a PowerPoint file and put all these information, the title, abstract, citation, in one slide. Second slide, another thesis, and then etc., etc. By doing this, just one click from the keyboard, you are going to access all this related, information about the your thesis. So this is actually one of the very important and helpful tip that I used to do during my PhD. All right. Okay. Number two, during the first year, you are going to fail a lot. Do not get exhausted. It's the normal thing to do. We are here to fail and learn and then build our new knowledge. So if you fail, like, designing a framework or the questionnaire or whatever it is, do not get frustrated. PhD is not an easy thing actually to do. You need to do it one day or another, and you need to be patient. You need to be committed, and do not get disappointed easily when you fail. It's like a sign. When you fail, it's a sign that you are learning new things. All right. When you fail, it's going to open up, new opportunities to find solutions. All right. So failing is actually a part of the process. All right. And third thing that you need to do early stages in PhD or master by research, which is learn techniques and analysis. Now, this is very, very, very important. Analysis, your data, analyzing the data. I know some students or some of the researchers prefer to, go for help from statisticians, but is actually it's okay. But my personal advice: try to learn at least one software, and I really much recommend you learn smart PLS. Nowadays, it's very relative. It's very required among research, business. Even if you want to publish in the future, for example, Q1 and Q2, if you are not using smart PLS or AMOS, most probably your paper is going to be rejected. SS is great software, but I feel that it's not relative, anymore. Okay, how does doctor divide time between daily work and study? It's actually totally up to you, because as I mentioned, if you are working and you are doing PhD or master as a part-time, you need to find, we have 24 hours. That's a lot of time during the day. You need to find, if you are working, let's go for 3 hours only. And these 3 hours, if they are like a quality time, nothing about the world outside. Whether it's actually up to you if you go in the morning, if you go afternoon, evening, but go to your office, close the door. There's nothing going to you know, confuse you or take your time unless you finish these 3 hours about PhD. All right. So it's always up to you. I used to have 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, and then 6 hours daily for 6 days a week. After these 6 hours, I wouldn't talk about my PhD. Right. So this is what I used to do during my PhD. And now, three things that you need to do your PhD, and then the second year. Second year is actually most probably an ugly year during your PhD. It's boring. It's actually the same year as first year, but first year was, kind of fun, but second year there's no productivity. Most probably you have actually, uh, you know, defended your proposal and waiting for the viva, but there's no productivity, and you will feel that you are losing your time, wasting the time in the PhD. And this is what they call a second year slump. Now, a second year slump is that kind of feeling that you can get for a variety of reasons. The main reason is that it's no longer new to you, and maybe you are not progress as you should be. So what you need to do is during the second year, you need to remember that it's not going to last forever, and make sure actually this feeling is going to fade away day by day, even though you may feel like it's going to last for the whole PhD journey, but it's not. It may, trust me, when you start working day by day, it's going to fade away, and it's actually 100% thing that is related to your brain. So do not let your brain trick you. You can do it. You are able to do it. You made the decision for this journey, and you are going to achieve your goal. Always remember why you have actually signed up for a PhD or a master in the first place. This could be the big, massive motivation to you to overcome any obstacles all over the way. And whenever you feel disappointed or exhausted during PhD or master, always remember to plan your weeks. Plan at least 3 to 4 weeks ahead. Okay, next week I'm going to read, or I'm going to publish meta-analysis or systematic literature review, or I'm going to finish up with my methodology. When you do so, you will feel that, okay, I have kind of achieved somehow. And all PhD candidates, all of them, they feel disappointed one way or another. I remember during my proposal defense, okay, what is the name of software? Smart PLS. Yes, it's very highly recommended that every master or PhD students get to know how to use this software, Smart PLS and Amos, especially when you want to create a model or a theoretical framework. All right. What I was saying is that, yeah, every PhD students or candidate is going to uh, at a time or another. I remember when I was doing my proposal defense. It was in my first semester, as I mentioned. Um, I was doing the proposal defense, and the committee were the exam asking me so many questions, and I just kept calm, try to answer as much as I can. And during the uh, proposal defense itself, I told myself, I'm not going to make it and I'm going to fail. This is actually very embarrassing and it's not a good sign. And, I'm going to lose everything. When I was answering them, I had that feeling in my brain, that, whispering in my brain. But when they told me to get out for the decision, I got B1. And actually, this was something I would remember for the whole of my life. So do not lose hope. You need to always remind yourself why you have started at the same, at the first place. Uh, and as I mentioned, PhD and master, postgraduate, postgraduate in general is very unique thing. Not everybody in the community can get it. But you, as you have made the decision to be one of these candidates, this is actually a sign that you can do it. It's doable, but you need to be consistent and committed to do it, and you have the desire and motivation to do it. So, as I was saying, you need to plan for the next few weeks. It's all about planning, you need to look of the things that you need to start to do them slowly and consistently. 1 to 2, 3 hours, 4 hours quality time is going to be enough. And always start doing things slowly. Try to learn step by step at a time. Just think about your purpose and think why you have actually started the whole journey. All right. And always remember to communicate with your supervisors. Your supervisors are actually here to guide you during this journey. Now, do not expect your supervisor to do the work for you. They are here to monitor you, guide you, because I have actually met some of the students that they are always blaming their supervisors if they are late, of if they are off the track. They are blaming their supervisors, but what they actually didn't know that it's all because of the student. If you deliver the feeling to your supervisor that you care, you actually here to finish or graduate on time, they are going to do their best to help you. So always try to make the relationship between you and your supervisor as friendly as you can. They are going to support and monitor you, and they are going to even help you during the final viva as well. They are going to give you some, tips and tricks to do, how to present, what to present, and whatsoever. So always remember, what you are going through the first and second year is not going to last forever. It's going to pass one day or one way or another. And always remember why you have actually signed for a PhD in the first place. Now, we have discussed about the general tips, year 1, year 2. Let's talk about year 3 during the PhD. Now, in year 3, most probably you are done with the data collection, and you are done with at least 3 to 4 chapters. As I mentioned before, when I said you need to start writing as early as you think, this is where it's important. Third year, if you are done with writing, at least chapter 1, 2, 3, what you need to do now is just recall the information. And what I mean by recall is that now we have actually took the example, if you have 4 variables, and let's say if you have 4 questions, all right, you need to do your thesis as organized as you can. If you have 4 questions, then you are going to have 4 variables, you are going to have 4 sections in the literature review chapter. If you have 4 sections in the literature review, online learning, academic achievement, what is easy to use, and then satisfaction. These 4 sections in the literature review are going to be the 4 sections in the questionnaire, and then the findings are going to be 4 sections as well. All right. So in the literature review, you have all the literature about these 4 variables, and in the finding, you have your results. Okay. So you are done with chapter 2, you are done with chapter 4, and now what you need to do is just recall the information from chapter 4 and chapter 2 and write. So always organize the work. If you do so in your thesis, read and to understand, even the examiners are going to understand it from the look of, the look of it. Just if they look at the thesis and they find like, okay, you have 4 questions, 4 sections in chapter 2, you have 4 phases in chapter 3, methodology, you have 4 phases of results, and then the discussion covered all these 4 phases, is going to be a piece of cake. And to do so, you have to own your day, organize your day, take your days. We have 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. As I mentioned, I'm not asking you to work super hard and hustle. Just work smart, work, you know, as put your effort to do the work as quality time as you can. All right, and when you finish your with writing the discussion and the findings, you go back to your chapter 2 now, and then update the references that you have actually I have mentioned, because you most probably wrote chapter 2 and your, let's say, 3rd semester. You need to update some of the references and then just relate the work, recall the literature, and that's it. All right. And as always, my advice to you guys, keep the relationship and the channel of communication with your supervisor as nicely, as friendly as you can. And actually, these are, tips and advices that I would advise anybody um, that is going through your master or PhD to follow. If you do so, it's going to be very easy to you, and you are actually going to graduate in time. All right. And I really hope that I have mentioned all the points and tips about how to survive your master and PhD. And I wish you a very good luck. And let's now open for questions. I'm from Palestine. Where you learn? YouTube, Smart PLS. You can always refer to YouTube. I'm going to share with you in the group some of the videos that I really recommend for Smart PLS. Okay, guys, do we have more questions? Okay, during the Viva. Okay. Now, Viva is the fruit of your work for like the past. If you do the work by yourself and you are comfortable enough, there's nothing to worry about. And always remember that good presenter, bad thesis, but bad presenter, good thesis fail, which shows that you need to have this kind of skills that because you are a PhD candidate, you are going to be a teacher one day to some grown adult, students. If you are not able to defend or present your own work, this is going to be, very bad sign, even in the future career. So Viva is all about confidence. It's all about knowing everything about your thesis. You need to read your thesis as many times as you can because every time you are going to read it, you are going to find some mistakes, whether it's grammatical mistakes, some stupid sentences that you have put here and there. You need to read your thesis as many times as you can, so that if expect from the reading, from your reading, you actually would expect some questions from the examiners. You are going to be able to answer them by reading your thesis as many times as you can. That's number one. And number two, always look for the examiner's profile. Go for their profile, read information about them, what they actually focus on their publications. You would expect what kind of questions that they would ask. And during the presentation itself, be calm, be confident, present only the very, very, the thesis is most probably 200, 300 pages, I don't know, and you have 20 minutes to present. So do not present the important things, present the very, very super important things. You need to be very precise and always use figures and tables in your thesis and in your presentation as well. And then you explain, do not copy and paste. It's called PowerPoint because it's not about copying and pasting just and reading. We all can read, but you actually mention whatever points and then you explain about them so that the examiners will get the feeling that you know your work. All right, not just reading and reading and reading. This actually could be my advice during the Viva. Let's see if we have. Okay, my thesis was about designing e-learning environments. Until now, I'm actually publishing, all my publications is about e-learning, online learning, public environments, and so on. Welcome. Any more questions? أدراجي سؤالان. Okay, no more questions. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best in your study with a master. Always remember to have faith and have hope. Hope is the only thing that keeps us going day by day. And you are actually very special. You are going to do it one day or another. All right. And if you need any help, I'm always happy to help. Thank you very much again, guys. And thank you, Dr. Noor Afandi, for this great opportunity to share my experience. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam. Thank you, Dr. Hassan.
Most welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Okay, doctor.